Hello everybody, I'm Dutch, and today I want to talk about one of the greatest outdoor materials that you can buy, and that is Dyneema Composite Fabrics. So we sell an array of these fabrics. We are a Dyneema distributor, and I want to go down through them and the purpose for them, but first I want to talk about why Dyneema. Well, it is super light and it's super strong. And there's a reason why it is used for racing sailing yachts as their sails. It is completely waterproof. One of my favorite things about it, it is repairable in the field. So, you know, its competing product often is a sil nylon or a sil poly. And you can't just tape that in the field. Should you wind up having a stick go through your tarp or you trip over a guideline or something, this is something that you can use just duct tape. And you can repair it until you can repair it even better with a Dyneema tape. I want to get a little bit more into that later, but I want to get into the different levels of the Dyneema. I go by weight when I want to describe it because their code for these are, it's really extensive and I certainly can't memorize them. But one thing I can memorize is how much does this weigh per square yard? And that's what we're going to measure these by and describe these by. So for tarps, we are one of the biggest tarp manufacturers out of Dyneema, and it is a fantastic product. It is so light and it is waterproof levels that typical machines can't even measure it because it's not really a fabric, it's a laminate. It's got this particular one has two laminates with the reinforcement being the Dyneema. The Dyneema is like the steel in reinforced concrete. Either one is not very strong. The steel is going to bend. The concrete would crumble if it didn't have it. You put the two together and it's something super, super strong. They take Dyneema fibers, which are 5 times the strength of steel by weight, and they make this web of it, and then they put the laminate on either side of it. Sometimes they put a fabric on one side of it for different purposes. In particular, these real lightweight ones are often a laminate on either side. So the 0.51, this is as low as we go. It is what we use to make our tarps. And we make a lot of tarps out of this. It's bonded, so it is not sewn and it's not going to have the potential of leaks. Also, it's not perforated. It's abrasion resistant, super strong. It's going to be able to handle up to those winds. It's really neat to reinforce it because rather than sewing it on, you're using adhesive and putting another layer of Dyneema is what you often use to strengthen where the tie outs are, where the ridge line is. When you bond the two together, the bonding agents that are used for this are amazing, and it winds up being the strongest part of the tarp. Particularly when we build them out, we wind up putting even more reinforcement because we take the bonding agent, we put it on 1-inch tape, and we stick that on both sides. So when we build out a tarp, we're going to have 4 layers of Dyneema along the ridge line, which is one of the places where you want to have the most strength in a tarp. So we have an olive green that we offer for that in the 0.51 ounces per square yard, and also a white. And we primarily use this for the tarps, but there are a couple other products that we use that will use this weighted material. A sister of that is the 0.67 ounces per square yard, and this is printed. So if you want a printed one, it's going to cost you a tiny bit more weight, but it's really gorgeous. It looks like a forest floor after it is printed. We also can even do the reinforcements we are putting the adhesive on the back of the same material. So this could be going onto the corner of the tarp, and then you put the tie out on there, and it makes it super strong, and it's all bonded. So you don't have stitches pulling and putting holes that just get greater and greater as wind hits it. It is pulling on the entire reinforcement. So those are really good materials for making tarps. Then our next level up is 0.8. I like, sometimes you want something a little bit stronger. Tents, very often, they're going to use the 0.8. And for a slight weight difference, you're going to have a much stronger tarp, or much stronger tent. The reason it is stronger is because that 0.8 is because they used more Dyneema in this. The 0.8, we have black, which this stuff is so thin that their black, and this is actually 2-ply, is really a very light gray. Also, there is a spruce green. It is just a lighter green for that Dyneema. So another good thing for that would be stuff sacks, bear bags, things of that nature. All right, 1 ounce per square yard. Now we're getting something that is really, really strong. We make a compression sack that I'll show you in a minute with this. And again, we got laminate on both sides. If you do sew it, you can very easily put a Dyneema tape over it, which is not only going to seal it, but it's also going to strengthen it. So it takes seam tape or Dyneema tape like, well, it really fuses to it and makes it like one. We can keep going up, we got 1.3, and this is, we also sometimes offer a 1.5, and this is also black, and this, you're definitely going to be getting heavier duty on this. We're still in the realm of compression stuff sacks and things of that nature. There's a reason why this stuff is so strong. There's a reason why people use it for, actually it's used in bulletproof vests and things of that nature, because this stuff is just incredibly strong, incredibly abrasive resistance, and it is like, it really is the ultimate outdoor material. So 2.92 ounce per square yard, and here we're going to have a laminate on one side, and then they're going to be attaching, it's actually a fabric on the other side with Dyneema on the inside. This stuff, I want you to think backpacks for this. This is extremely strong. It's also printable. So you can do dye sublimation printing, particularly on the face of this. Also, the fact that this material has a fabric on one side, it makes it abrasive resistant. And then the strongest of them all, this is 5 ounce per square yard Dyneema fabric. This stuff, I don't even know what it would take to rip this stuff. It is incredibly strong, a very hard, you could make a great duffel bag that carried rocks or something of that nature. This stuff is so strong, so abrasive resistant, and it is the strongest that we offer. So that is a little demonstration of all the different fabrics. And then there is the adhesives to apply them. So really, we have 2 ways. One is going to be an adhesive that is sandwiched between 2 substrates. So there's a shiny side and a paper side. What you do is you peel the paper side, and then you apply it, and then you can peel off the shiny side. And that is going to, there's not really a tape in here. There is an adhesive sandwiched between these 2. So you are applying that to, say, the edge here, and then you are going to peel off the backing to it, and then you're going to put the other material on it. And so what you're doing is removing both sides of the backing, and you're able to adhere 2 pieces. And then there's another type of tape, and this is it's Dyneema on one side with that same adhesive, and what it's going to do is be a tape. It makes for a great repair tape. These are actually repair tape kits that we manufacture for tent manufacturers, and they put that in there. You just peel this off if you wind up getting a tear, and this is going to repair that. So this is also going to make a great seam tape or something of that nature. One of the beautiful parts about the construction of a Dyneema product is there's really not that much sewing on it. It's very often taped or using the adhesive to produce it. So the Dyneema backed, we have several different colors. This is spruce green. This is the camo. And we have white. And then we also have a green that we produce for it. So that we can do the different tapes for the different colors that we have. Okay, so let's get into what you can make out of a Dyneema fabric. So this is one of the largest Dyneema tarps on the planet. And this thing is 17 by 20 feet. That is a huge tarp. And what's really amazing about this tarp is it weighs about 1.8 pounds, even though this has incredible coverage, practically covers the end of a football field. And you can see that it's going to be super waterproof. It's going to give you a great amount of coverage. The way it's constructed is going to give you great strength, and then it's also going to be repairable should something wind up going through it. We can dye sublimate print onto it. So this is our logo, and when we produce a tarp, we go and we cut these out. They have the adhesive on one side. This is Dyneema on the other side, and we can apply them. It's like a permanent sticker that winds up going onto our tarps so that we can show off our brand on here. And it's only going to make it stronger, and it's got a really good visual pop. These are dye sublimated printed, and we have done Dyneema printing in the past, and we're going to start doing some more of that here in the near future. So some other products that can be made. This is something that actually we're about to release. This is a pouch. We call this the Bling Bag, and it has a whole bunch of pockets in here. This is kind of modeled after a product that held jewelry for travel, and we're going to do it for backpacks. So simply go and you pull both sides, and you got, not only do you have all the different bags or different pockets in there, but then you have a big cavity in the very center, and now you're going to hold all your little knickknacks and things of that nature, or bling in our case. 2.92, it makes a great wallet. I carried one of these for years, and it took a long time before like a corner did start to go and wear, and even then it still held up. You were just wearing out a little bit of the surface. The Dyneema strands never broke free. This wallet lasted forever until, unfortunately, I lost it, which was a sad incident. Because it is so light, you can really lighten up on your products. This is an ultralight stake bag that we make. Now, the material doesn't hold up really well for sharp things to be poking at it. So we use a more solid product on the ends that's going to take that type of abrasive, but we make the body out of the Dyneema, which keeps it super light. And this is an ultralight stake bag. So we have plans on releasing these new zipper pouches, and these are going to be printable, but this could be a wallet. This could hold maybe your phone or your electronics and things of that nature. These are made out of 2.92. They're extremely strong, it's extremely waterproof, and it's going to protect your goods when they are in your backpack. Here is a very neat, we call this, it's like a purse actually. It is a Dyneema. This is going to be the town bag, and it has multiple pockets. It has one pocket that's inside, so that it's a little bit more opaque, so you can't see your money or your credit card through here. And this could be attached to your backpack, almost like a fanny sack or something of that nature, an extra pocket. It's going to be, I can't say it's really waterproof because we could get water in the zippers, and they are water resistant zippers, but it's very, very water resistant. And then when you go to town, you can just wear it, women can wear it like a shoulder bag. So there is a reason why the backpack companies, they use they use the Dyneema for the different backpacks. These are great for, you don't need a pack cover on here. It's light, it is abrasive, it's going to be resistant to abrasion. It is super strong, and it makes great Dyneema backpacks. This one is a super light one. I think this is using 1 ounce per square yard. Dyneema here, this is using 2.92. This is really one of my favorite backpacks. This is PDP. He makes an external frame, but then he's using Dyneema. And the external frame, it's kind of old school, but it's a really great pack, and it's using carbon fiber poles. Everything's light here, and the highlight here is you have the light Dyneema. And then this is a new favorite product of ours. This is using 1 ounce per square yard. This is called the Anaconda, and what you're seeing here is a compression bag that holds my hammock and my quilts all in one. It cinches down. It hangs out the end here. This is the end of my hammock suspension. I hook it up. I pop off these compression straps. I pull it out, and my whole setup's there. So this is a new product that we are releasing. We are really working hard to get some new products that we're hoping to release here for 2023. And I hope this is a good highlight of what the direction that we are going in, and the direction also that you can go into as maybe a small business to manufacture this stuff, or you can also DIY. One thing to mention is we sell this in the half-yard lengths, so that you don't have to buy 2 yards if you only need 1.5 yards. And it does save you quite a bit of money on this material. So that is Dyneema Composite Fabrics. Thank you, everybody.